Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So in this series I'm looking at overcoming different life events or traumatic things, and I'm going to probably link in the description some of the titles that I've already covered. And in this video what I'd like to look at is overcoming emotional eating. And so I just want to say, if people are tuning in for the first time, my name's Marianne and I'm a counsellor. I work with individuals and couples that struggle with anxiety, depression, stress, low self-esteem and also relationship issues. I just want to also put a little disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. I do work with individuals who struggle with this issue, but if you are concerned or worried about yourself or another person, then you would need to go through your GP or a medical practitioner. So I'm not going to give any medical advice in this video, it's just 4 tips that I'm going to give you. Emotional eating is really a behaviour that is associated with eating for comfort or for an emotional issue. If you're feeling down or depressed or low, you go to food as a comfort mechanism. It's not associated with eating because you're hungry. It can cause people quite a lot of distress because the fact that they're emotional eating and they're eating more calories, it can lead to weight gain, and then that can become a cycle. So someone is stressed about something, so they'll go to food to eat, then they'll continue to eat rather than getting maybe counselling or working out the issue. Then they'll start to put on weight, so then they'll start to feel low and down about themselves, so then they'll start to eat to feel better, so it becomes a cycle. So it can occur when people are stressed. It sometimes happens a lot when people have had relationship breakups. It can occur if people are trying to get through something from their past but they've not worked that through. It can occur through boredom, depression, trauma. There's so many reasons, but I have worked with a number of people who struggle with emotional eating, and what we try to do when I'm working with someone is to try to trigger, find out what the trigger is for when it first began, try to make a link back to how often it happens. We can also look at things like doing food diaries, we can look at strategies, and sometimes it has been quite useful for people to actually identify what are the patterns. Are they emotional eating more in the evenings? Are they doing it are they associating particular foods with other foods, so that means they're increasing their calories? There's so many things that people are doing unconsciously where they're just not aware of it. Sorry, unconsciously. You wouldn't be able to do anything where they're doing things consciously but they're not aware of the subconscious reasons for why they're doing what they're doing. So food can become a reliable friend. It can become something you can trust. Food doesn't talk back, food doesn't judge you. So for many people, going to food is the thing that they're missing in their life. They don't have that person they can talk to. They don't have coping strategies, so they're using food. It can become automatic. So literally you'll go to get a cup of tea and then you can take 5 biscuits and then you feel low, so then you can eat a multi-pack of crisps. This is what people have been telling me, that it becomes so automatic they're not even aware of it. They can sit and they can get a pack of biscuits and before they know it they've eaten the whole pack, and they didn't even know that that's happened because it's so automatic, and then they feel guilty and then the pattern repeats itself. So I'm going to give you 4 quick tips that might be useful, but as I've said, you need to really speak to your GP if this is an issue affecting you, or a medical practitioner who can put in a full and thorough treatment plan. Number 1 is to prepare and plan in advance. Think about, because you know that this happens, you know that you're an emotional eater, think about some distraction techniques you can use. Think about removing the tempting foods. Don't wait until you're at that moment. Take some action in advance. So I know as a person, I'm not an emotional eater, but I know that I've got a sweet tooth. So I love biscuits, cakes, sweets, chocolate. I'll get to a point where I'll say to myself, do you know what? I know that if there's all of these things are in the house, I'm going to eat them all. And I'm not going to, sometimes it's just going to be out of, because I know they're there. So I'll sometimes make a conscious choice when I'm in the shop. I'm only going to buy chocolate. I'm not going to buy biscuits or cakes. I've made my decision, so I can only eat what's there. For people who are emotional eaters, put the foods in the most awkward place for you to get to. That's another method that works. If you put them on top of a shelf that's really high, you might say to yourself, oh, I can't be bothered to get to them. Or if you put them at the back of the cupboard, or if you put them in lots of carrier bags and then you know that you have to go through all this effort, you'll probably reach for something else. So put the healthy foods in front, so that in sight. There is a theory behind it that says if you've got a bowl of fruit in front of you and you've got all the junk food hidden away, you'll probably go for what's closest because it's convenience. Number 2 is disassociation. Try to be rational and logical. Food doesn't equal that you're going to remove the emotion that you're feeling. So if you continuously tell yourself that, just because you go and have a pack of chocolate biscuits, it's not going to mean you're not going to feel sad. Just because you dive into the ice cream, it doesn't mean that the pain that you're feeling is going to go away. Be realistic, give yourself a pep talk at the time, and logically say to yourself, eating these biscuits isn't going to change how I'm feeling. So it's almost like you're trying to talk yourself out of it. Reframe. So the way that you have to reframe is to think of food for what it is. Food is fuel for the body. So if you care about yourself enough, what you can say to yourself is, food is my fuel, so therefore I'm going to choose food that is good for me, therefore I'm not going to overeat. You wouldn't buy yourself a nice fancy expensive car or a nice outfit or whatever it is that is precious and valuable to yourself and then decide to just trash it. You know, you wouldn't say, I'm going to just keep driving this fancy car and not put any petrol in, and I'm going to eat in the car and leave it a mess, or I'm going to buy this dress and then I'm just going to roll in mud. You know, you would take care of it. So take care of yourself. Tell yourself that, you know, eating food to excess and eating food as an emotional mechanism isn't healthy for me, it's not good for me, and I value myself enough not to do it. And the final thing is to speak to a counsellor. Working through these issues can sometimes be really useful. Counselling isn't always just about someone saying, this is what the problem is, this is how you fix it. You know, in fact, most of the time that is not what it is at all. It's about looking at the triggers, identifying what the issue is, identifying the impact of the issue on you, and then working together collaboratively to say, why don't you try this, or have you tried this, or maybe this is what's going on, or maybe this could be what's going on. So working with a counsellor is just one way that you can maybe look at the root cause and find some strategies to cope with it. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, don't forget to leave your comments, don't forget to give a like, and also share this with someone if you feel they will benefit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.